live and local for Carolina's family. This is 7 News Live at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. What a day in the upstate. Severe weather ripping through the area, leaving people hurt and a lot of destruction.
And 7 News has team coverage with Ayla Ferrone, Scottie K, Melanie Palmer, and Asia Wilson tonight.
And first, let's get right to meteorologist Malachi Rogers for the very latest. Malachi?
All right, Diane and Ben, it has been. We talked about this yesterday, that we wanted you to be prepared for the showers, the storms, the rain, and the downpours that were heading our way, and it delivered. We've had a lot of that throughout the day. A line of very active weather started as early as 10 o'clock this morning, working from Greenville to Spartanburg all the way into areas of Union, Greenwood, and Lawrence. It has been a stormy day. It has been a rainy day, and the rain continues to come down in areas of Spartanburg, Greenville, and Greenwood. Overall, we've had destructive winds, we've had trees knocked down, and we've had flooding. Many spots, as we take a look at your 12-hour Doppler estimate over the last 12 hours, the red and orange colors you see here, these are areas that have picked up at least 5 inches of rainfall. That includes areas in Gaffney, Spartanburg, Union, up into Rutherford County, up towards Henderson County, Polk County as well. We've also seen heavy downpours and flooding rains in Greenville, Simpsonville, Malden, Liberty, Pickens, easily back towards Anderson, Clemson, and northeast Georgia areas of Hart County. The flood watch continues through the evening because we are expecting to see more rain, and the rain that we have isn't going anywhere. So again, the flood threat, stay away from high water and rising waters. Never drive through that high water. And again, we do expect to see rivers and streams continue to rise over the next several hours as more rain heads our way. We'll talk more about what you can expect over the next few hours coming up as we take a more detailed look at our forecast.
All right, Malachi, thanks so much. We do want to head to our Ann Maxwell. She's in the Berea area of Greenville County with what's actually a rescue mission that's currently underway. Ann.
Right now I'm standing on Sulphur Springs Road where there is a water rescue underway. As you can see, they've already brought out about a dozen people from the Mosaic plant back there. Somebody with that company tells me they have about 40 people there today. People with the fire department are telling me they've heard between 20 and 30 people that need rescuing. As you can see, water is about waist deep behind me. They're using a small vehicle to get those people out. The fire department tells me everybody is expected to be okay. One girl on scene tells me her father has a mechanic shop back there as well, rescuing him and his dog. She says they can't use a raft because those dogs' claws would puncture it. If you're standing by, we'll bring you the latest as it becomes available. In Berea and Maxwell, 7 News.
We continue our team coverage in Spartanburg right now, where we're getting some of the worst reports of damage from these storms. We also hear from the county's head of emergency management that they do have reports of injuries. Let's head right out to 7 News' Scottie K at the Crown Point Apartments, where some of these units, Scottie K, don't even have a roof anymore.
That's right, Diane. Go ahead and take a look behind me. You can see the damage that's been done here at Crown Point Apartments, and we've been keeping you guys updated, following the stories here at the apartment complex all day long. Now we want to show you what it looks like across the street. If you'll take a look right here, there used to be a stop sign right here at Croydon Road and Powell Mill Road where we've been all day. That stop sign has since gone underneath the porch of this home here, likely from the wind that tore down these trees you've seen all day long. These trees have been snapped in half. They're everywhere. Luckily, crews have been out here all day cleaning up these trees, but you can still see we have power poles leaning. We have power lines across the road here. People coming in and out, checking on their homes, making sure the damage isn't as bad as they think. For some, it's worse. We've seen people coming in and out of these homes and these apartments with belongings, getting things, maybe staying somewhere else for the night. So we've told you guys about the damage at the apartments. Obviously, it's very terrible. Lots of trees on these units, but now you see we've got trees down in yards here in the neighborhood right across the street from those apartments. So really, no one was safe from this storm in this area. It seems like this really was the hardest hit area in Spartanburg County. We're going to continue talking to neighbors out here in this neighborhood as well as those at the apartments. Some are just now coming home from work and seeing the damage for the first time. So we'll be sure to keep you updated as our newscasts go on throughout the night. For now, I'm reporting live in Spartanburg County. Scottie K, 7 News.
All right, Scottie, thanks so much. The Crown Point Apartments, one of many spots in Spartanburg County that got the brunt end of this storm today. Let's head now to the Converse Heights neighborhood, where we find our Melanie Palmer continuing our live team coverage, where there are just trees down all over the place. Melanie.
Yeah, it truly is. This is kind of the case for a lot of neighborhoods around this area. Just snapped trees, down power lines, and as you can see, roads that are just completely blocked. And if you follow me down this way as well, you can see the cleanup effort that's underway, but also these uprooted trees, just to give you an example of how strong and powerful this storm system was. And in this case, some of these trees were able to make their way to this house right over here. And we're going to grab one of the crews here on scene real quick. Lino, you were telling me earlier that thankfully no one was hurt, right?
That's right. When we come in about 2 o'clock, it was 5 trees on the house, and I think the person that was inside.
Okay.
Yeah, we just know the owner. He just called us to come and help him.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a mess.
And you've already been here a couple hours, and you expect to be here a couple more, right?
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah, we should be finished. We got to get those trees down too.
Okay, so that'll work.
So yeah.
Thankfully everyone was okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lino.
Yeah.
And a lot of people living around here are in the same case as well, cleaning up, which as you can imagine is going to take a while. We did also talk to some other neighbors around here who told us when the storm came in, it really sounded like a freight train. It was loud, everything just looked very still for a second, and that's when they started to see these trees falling over, these lines coming down, and just hearing some of the destruction that was happening in this area. But once again, these people we talked to are saying they are just fortunate that they're safe, they're alive, and that their neighbors are as well. Reporting live in Spartanburg, Melanie Palmer, 7 News.
Thank you, Melanie. And continuing our team coverage in Greenville County now, where several roads are closed because of all the flooding there. 7 News' Ayla Ferrone joins us live now. So, Ayla, tell us what you're seeing there.
Well, Diana, as you mentioned, we've been kind of all over Greenville County today. Many roads here in the city of Greenville are flooded, especially those that are next to the Reedy River. And here's why. Look at how high the river has come up here in downtown Greenville right now. This is actually the underpass for anyone who's familiar, kind of across from Free Hub Bicycles that takes you underneath the road to continue onto the Swamp Rabbit Trail. Now, just to give our viewers a little bit of an idea of exactly how high that water is down there. The fence down there is just about as tall as this fence that I'm standing next to right now. I'm about 5'2". This comes up to about my armpit, and this water is coming just about that high as well. So that gives you an idea really of how far over the Reedy River is flowing right now over the banks. And this isn't the only spot that it's doing that. Upriver over a couple of roads, there's roads that are closed because of the Reedy River overflowing, and we're also seeing it a little bit downstream as well, especially in the area of Larkin's restaurant. The river has flowed over the banks on that side as well. So it really gives you an idea of how much rain we've really gotten in this area today, and it just keeps on coming down, so it doesn't seem like there's any sign of this stopping anytime soon. One thing I do want to note is that the city put up some signs along the river warning people to be aware of how high the river is getting and really how quickly it could get even higher. So if you are out here, make sure that you're staying safe, and if you are trying to take a look at this extreme flooding, make sure you're doing it from a safe distance and keeping those things in mind. So we will, of course, continue to follow this for you throughout the evening, but for now, I'm live in Greenville. Ayla Ferrone, 7 News.
All right, our Ayla Ferrone. Ayla, stay safe. I was out there earlier. It is kind of menacing to sit there and see the flood or the river like that. In Oconee County, they're also seeing some severe flooding from today's storms. We continue our team coverage now with 7 News reporter Jennifer Martin. She brings us a look at the flooding in the Seneca area.
Here in Oconee County, we're hearing that they've gotten 4 to 6 inches of rain, causing road closures like the one behind me. This is Avondale Drive in Seneca, and you can see that this road is just completely flooded over. That's because this is in a low-lying area by a creek here, and behind us, just attached to this area that's flooded here, is a woman's house that's completely surrounded by water in her yard on the other side as well. She is doing okay. She said that her house hasn't been flooded so far. It's just the yard, and those houses are actually able to get out as well. But this is a perfect example of what happens when you're in a low-lying area by a creek that has overflowed, and so this has come straight over the road. And really what Emergency Services in Oconee County wants to stress here is in a situation like this, do not try to cross the road. That's because you don't know what's underneath it. In other cases around Oconee County, they've seen in cases where there's been flooding over the road that some of the road has been washed out underneath. That's not the case necessarily here, but again, we don't know. So if you do come across a situation like this, it may be tempting to just drive through it, but again, turn around, don't drown is the message that we're hearing over and over again from the National Weather Service and Emergency Management Services from Oconee County. Also the fire chief, he said that there are several road closures that he's seeing in this area. Mountain Rest is seeing several on private roads, and he's also seeing some in Walhalla. We'll continue to keep you updated, but for now we're here on Avondale Drive in Seneca. Again, this road is closed and we're not quite sure how long it'll take for this to be cleared up, but this woman here says that this is the 4th time it's happened and usually it takes about 3 days. In Seneca, Jennifer Martin, 7 News.
Jennifer and her photographer, one of many of our crews out there showing us what this storm did earlier today. But we also want to thank you, our 7 News viewers, for sending in all those videos and photos. And we have a look at some of them right now. This is in Spartanburg, where Mark Bordeaux sent us this video. Take a look at this. This is inside the Ashley Furniture Store on West Blackstock Road. And then look again as a metal street sign just slams right there into the window as the 2 men try to hold those doors shut. They were doing a pretty good job there. In Anderson County, Eric Whitfield, take a look at this photo of the bridge on Shackelberg Road that was washed out. This is in the Anderson area right near Highway 81. Wow. Water is no joke. In Greenville County, Bo Harling sent this video of this flooded backyard in the Gower community, the water covering a footbridge there, and much more, making it all the way up to his home. And there's his dog, who was caught in the flood, and rescue crews came out to save the pup. Good job. And a lot of homes looking like this today. This is from Travis Phillips in the Pine Forest subdivision in Spartanburg. You see a tree right there, right on top of that home. But again, many homes receiving damage from this storm.
And remember, you can take 7 News and Storm Team 7 with you wherever you go with our app. We'll keep you updated throughout the day on the latest news and weather. Just head to the App Store and search WSPA 7 News and WSPA Weather.